baby, let's just dance, dance. Let's just dance, baby. I just wanna dance, 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 dance. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you come and breeze it? All of this electricity, do it right now, right now. Turn the volume up loud, give me your electricity.
Welcome back to the bar. These are your two favorite bitches from the past. I am one of the bitches. I'm Christi.
Oh no, you're definitely bitch number one.
I don't want to be bitch number one.
And I'm bitch number two.
No. Hey, did you see that somebody else just used our two bitches are left TikTok? I meant to send it to you today. Did I?
Yeah.
Kelsey Ballerini.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember we saw her?
Yeah.
She was on that cruise we went on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did just the two bitches are left. I said something to Clara this morning. I was like, do people use that in school? She's like, every day. And I said, does it make you proud? And she's like, no. I think it's fun.
Me too.
I said, no other mom in middle school has a TikTok a viral TikTok.
Yeah, of their mother.
That makes us cool, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
they're very proud of us.
They are so proud. Let's talk before we get into this week's episode. Apologies for not doing Patreons last week. As I said, I was in New Orleans, couldn't work my laptop. You couldn't work your laptop, phone, whatever. We're not the most technologically savvy, sorry, but we're fun. Does that count?
Yeah.
So we have some Patreons to catch up with thanking. And these are people who went over to patreon.com/backtothebar. That's a ballet bar. And subscribe to our Patreon channel for exclusive bonus content. And let's see, some of the people we have to thank are, I believe her name is Ananya. I think I'm saying that right. Ananya. Addison, Casey, Ashton, Emily, Gabby, Haley, Carson, Taylor, Danielle, Taylor, Diane. I wonder if that's our Di. Valeria, Cassie, Claire, Bridget, Emily, Jordan, Olivia, Chloe, Charlie, Marissa, Jacqueline, Vivian, Stan, Madeline, Maddie, Alexis, Noelle, Sydney, Soapkey, Caitlin, Bailey, Courtney, Amanda, XMC, Ashley, Charla, Molly, Lauren, Shannon, Catherine, The Dreamix, Rosalie, Joseph, Brianna, Abby, Michelle, Aveen, Benny or Benet, Bethany, Haley, Sydney, Maggie, Tierney, Hannah, Yazzie, Mandy, Cass, Freedom, Alyssa, Mags, Presley, Morgan, Liliana, Ashley, Jay, Matthew, Brady, Rachel, Jonathan, Kylie, Aaron, Keegan, Shelby, Taylor, Katie, Courtney, Morgan, Katie, Kathy, Bolisa, Emily, David, Maria, Nat, Jack, Maddie, Janelle, Big Dum Dum. Oh, that's me. Allison, Emily, Lovisa, Katie, Julia, Logan, Emily, Sienna, Miriam, Jennifer, Jasmine, Valerie, Elizabeth, and Dora. Thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Always so many. It amazes me.
So many. And there's a lot of guys again this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love our guy audience. That's always fun. We are actually, you know what? This episode's going to come out the week after Halloween. But I meant to talk about this last week and I forgot. I wanted to talk about when we were filming and we weren't supposed to be home for Halloween, when we were coming home on the bus.
We got home at like 8:00 or something.
No, we actually got home like 2 hours earlier than we were supposed to. And we realized that the kids actually were going to be able to trick or treat, but we didn't have any costumes. So do you remember what they did?
Yeah, they went as themselves in their pink costume.
They switched they had their pink hoodies on, like with their names on the back, and they all switched. So they were somebody different, but they were themselves. Paige was Brooke or Nia.
Josh's friend went as them too that year.
Yes.
Remember Anthony? I think he was dressed up as us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or so was he Abby?
I think he might have been Abby.
Dressed up at Abby. I think he was Abby. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he might have been Abby. But I thought about that when we were recording and I was like, oh, I wish we would have told that story during Halloween, but here you have it a week later. So yeah, our girls weren't supposed to be able to trick or treat, but since we got home early,
they were so excited.
Oh my God. And we were like, what are they going to be? And they're like, We'll just be ourselves.
That was at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went out at my house.
We sent them all to your house and we're like, go trick or treat, go trick or treat. It was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah.
So it reminded me when we were watching this week's episode, because there's a really good shot of them going into the door wearing their pink long sleeved sweats with their boots. And that's what reminded me of it.
Them in the audience. Was it? I think it was last week when they were all sitting with their boots and stuff on. They looked cute. Some had shorts on, some had the pants on.
Yeah. Well, before we start recapping, what you drinking?
I got a new thing, a new
From
toy.
Facebook?
No. Well,
Oh, good.
I guess I did see it on Facebook. It's this one of those Bartison machines. I think that's how you say it.
I'm gonna get one of those.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying it. Today I'm having Candyman margarita.
Okay. Wait, did you do this because you're working with them on a deal for something?
No.
You just bought it?
Yeah.
Kelly, I think they would have sent you one.
Get another one and give it to my kids.
Yeah, I am dying for one of these because I have seen them. They're like a Keurig, but for cocktails.
Yeah. Well, I never have anything to make the drinks. So I got a few of them. So we'll try. I think I got 3 or 4 different ones I'm gonna use.
Are they good?
They are good. Oh, this is my first one I've tried. It's
Yeah.
It's a margarita.
Yeah.
It's very fruity.
Okay. I mean, Candyman. I love that because I was a little hesitant to buy one or, to get one because I wasn't sure if I was going to like the little capsules, if they would be good.
I like this one.
Okay.
I'll let you know. Maybe wait until I try a few more.
Yeah, but that's such a fun machine. That's a good Christmas present.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can get one for free, I'll give it to Brooke and Paige.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
I won't give one to Chloe. She won't use it. But if you have a teacup, she'll use that.
Yeah.
I am just drinking vodka soda. I'm so boring, but I made a big one because I'm having a really shit week.
I've actually been drinking vodka and water out. Lately,
I drink a lot of vodka and water. Yeah.
with an orange slice. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I like vodka and water. I do.
I like it better than the soda. I don't know why. The soda sometimes seems like it's half fizzy but half flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the water tastes better, I guess.
And I think a lot of times people will put tonic instead of soda. And it always hits me. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. I do have to say, oh my God. So after my whole voodoo daiquiri fiasco, first of all, I just want to say I was so drunk after that when I went to dinner. I went to the place where we were right before the fight in New Orleans. I went to Muriel's.
Really?
I did. All by myself. But you know what? One of the big drinks that everybody serves down there, they serve twisted tea with vodka in it. Like they will make a mixed drink with vodka.
A guy at my bingo drinks that.
Oh,
he gets vodka with twisted tea.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
he drinks it every Monday, and that's how I remember him. He laughed at me. I saw him at another bar one day, and I'm waving to him, and I'm like, "Hi, I know you from bingo." And he's probably like, "Oh my God, this dipshit." But I'm like, and I know you drink twisted tea. He's probably like, who is this bitch?
Why are you stalking me?
When he drinks, yeah. But I knew what he was drinking because it like caught my eye because you and I used to drink it all the time, and I don't see it very many places, especially at a bar. Like, I mean, I see it like at the store.
Yeah.
Buy it, but not really at a bar. So funny. He thinks I'm a psycho.
Well, maybe you are. I think it's funny that there's oftentimes on this podcast where we'll spend 4 minutes talking about cocktails, and people actually commented. They're like, "We've listened to you talk about cocktails for 5 minutes, and we're still entertained. So we hope you're entertained." Well, if you're not entertained by our cocktail talk, you're going to be entertained by our commentary on this episode because this is a wild one.
Yes. Just Jill's outfits.
Jill's outfits alone.
I mean, that is the first thing I have on my list. When she walks into Pyramid, she has on those boots and that fur vest.
Yeah, I know. Oh, trust me, I know. And that,
let me just say that she wore boots into freaking pyramid.
I know. And that was because I was looking and I'm like, is she wearing shoes? And those were the first words out of Abby's mouth. Well, all right, we'll start. This episode is season 2, episode 6. It's called Jill on the Rampage. I think it was kind of supposed to be like a play of Jill on the Range because we were in Texas.
Yeah.
So we do start with Abby. We're in Pittsburgh. Abby is screaming, "Ladies, let's go," per usual. And then the first thing we see is Jill in that fur vest in her shoes. And Abby goes, "Are you wearing shoes?" And she goes, "I didn't think you'd mind. I'm on my toes.
I'm on my tippy toes."
Yeah. Well, then
Like,
we
I'll
hear
stand on my toes too.
yeah. Oh, wait, I just have to say, I can't tell you how many times Kelly would call like executives at the network and say, "Get me a runner to stand on, like roll in a plastic runner."
Like a little red carpet. They should roll it out for us. Yes,
We never did get it.
But she got to leave them on and we didn't.
Yes. Well, then Abby tells us that how dare Jill wear those on her $68,000 floor? Now I have questions. First of all, I call bullshit on
I know
that.
those floors are expensive.
They are expensive.
They are expensive. I don't know about 68,000.
That's exactly right. And if you have $68,000 to blow on those floors, maybe throw $3,000 to the potholes. I'm just saying. Just saying. And then Abby is wearing a headband. We see our first headband of the week. Plus, Jill's wearing fur. So I think that's a double shot.
This is going to make me cough.
Oh, no.
It's kind of tart.
Yeah.
The tart stuff makes me cough.
Well, so Abby goes right into talking about last week, and we see a little flashback, and she immediately tells us that she's disappointed. I don't know this woman ever not to be disappointed.
I
You?
know she's disappointed every time.
I
Even
know.
if you win first.
Yeah, she's disappointed.
She's still disappointed about something.
Yeah, it could have been better. Your eye wing could have been sharper, like your eyeliner. So she's disappointed because the energy level could have been higher, and you can't have a bunch of slugs on stage.
Slugs. She
Slugs.
calls them slugs.
Slugs. Meanwhile, she would lay in bed in the morning while those slugs were in school.
All day. She'd
All
lay in
day.
bed till it
Yeah.
was time to film. Yeah. And then had somebody come and do her makeup while she was laying in bed.
Yeah, but our kids are the slugs.
Yeah.
So they're the slugs. And then she tells us this week we're going to Dance Explosion in New Jersey, and there's going to be a lot of heavy hitters there. And I just have to say, there's a shot of you and I, and guess what? We're annoyed.
You think? When aren't we?
I know.
Do an eye roll?
No, we were just annoyed. I don't think it deserved like a full-on eye roll, but we were totally annoyed. So just in case anybody was worried that Kelly and I were going with the flow, we were not. So
Well, she just called our kids slugs.
yeah. And then we go right into Pyramid, and Kendall is at the bottom, and Jill absolutely cannot believe it. She cannot believe it. And I literally wrote, Jill can't believe it, and I can't believe her vest. So there we go. And she says it's ridiculous because Abby says that it's based on her mother's behavior and she's needy. And Jill tells us that it's not needy, it's inquisitive. And then
Welcome to our life.
yeah, I know.
Always gets punished because of us.
Exactly. And then she says that to Abby. She was like, "Are you saying that you're punishing her for something that I did?" And Abby says, "Bingo." Just like you, bingo.
Yeah.
You and
Yeah.
Abby, you're twins. You're twins.
Oh, yay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So then
That was
Nia's
my goal in life.
I know. I thought maybe. So then Nia's next because she needs more energy and excitement, I think, right? Is that what you
Yes.
said? Okay.
Yeah.
Then Brooke is next on the pyramid, and she tells us, "You're back, but are you back?
Are you really back?
Are you really back?" And Brooke says that she feels the pressure, which these
They all
kids
do.
should be like diamonds at this point with all the pressure. Well, they are diamonds. They are
Yes.
every one of them. And Paige, she goes, "Paige, you did a great job on the tuck." Okay, but why isn't she higher then? And then Paige says, "I'm upset that I'm not higher because I did well in what I was given."
Yeah.
Paige, that's too rational. Like that makes sense. We don't do sense here. Then Maddie is next on the pyramid and she says, you danced really well, but I expect more. And then she says, Chloe, same thing, but you need to pick up quicker because we had to have a dig in there. And then we know we're getting to the top, the big reveal, and it's Kenzie. And Melissa has her cry face on.
Uh-huh.
And they showed me looking annoyed then. And I guarantee you, I didn't.
I have wrote on here, Melissa crying, and then they have your face.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why they would show. I mean, obviously I'm annoyed at some point during pyramid, but I assure you, I wasn't annoyed that Mackenzie's at the top. I could have cared less.
Yeah.
99% of the time, none of us gave a shit who was at the top of the pyramid.
Exactly.
So for them to show me looking annoyed, I'm like, I wasn't annoyed. I was like, yay, Mackenzie's at the top. Good for her. Because
Yeah.
that's how we all were.
I know.
And Mackenzie says she's never been at the top. So she's surprised. Abby says something about her wins, but I had a hard time paying attention to what Abby was saying because the entire time Abby is talking to Mackenzie, Mackenzie is literally standing there wiggling her front tooth with her tongue. It's just like, I was so distracted.
Oh my god!
So I don't have any idea what Abby was really saying, but she does go on to tell us, yeah, I don't care, that there is no group routine. And Chloe makes a really weird face here. I was like, I don't know what that face meant, but okay. And then she starts handing out solos like Oprah, and you get a solo, and you get a solo, and you get a solo. And then she tells us that even though everyone has a solo, she still needs to do a pyramid so that they know how they rank in her eyes.
Yay.
Okay. Except,
but when she's doing her interview, did you smell? Did you smell?
Yes,
she
her
needs to
feet.
blow her nose again.
I know.
It's
I know.
blow your nose.
I have something really interesting to read at the after show about her voice. Somebody sent me.
Okay.
Okay. Then she tells us, I love this. She goes, and this one time only.
Okay. I am making a costume, 2 costumes every single week.
One time only.
Kiss my ass.
You guys get to help out with costumes. And my face is literally like, what? Because again,
She wants you to go for the Tony.
Hilarious. I get to go for my Tony. And honestly, I think my costume was Tony worthy.
It was.
She has 7 solos to choreograph, no time for costumes, but she does reserve the right to veto or accept them. So then she goes on with her rules. Like there's no old costumes, nothing she's ever seen before, nothing from any old studios. And I absolutely love just how annoyed Holly is during all of this. Holly is just annoyed
at making costumes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, Holly is not. So we go upstairs and Jill wants to know how she's going to get 7 solos done in a day.
Oh, gosh.
And then I say that when it's a solo, it's only you. There's no one to hide behind or blame. And you either kick ass or fall flat on your face. And I was dressed to head over to Studio 54 after this. So I had on like a straight up disco shirt and I think some hoop.
I pretty much think that every week.
Yeah. Again, I'd like to say this again. I need a do-over. So we get right into rehearsals and Mackenzie is first and she's doing acro again. And she tells us it's called Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. And I want to point out that literally every single time Abby is working with Mackenzie or Kenzie is dancing, Abby is so freaking sweet to her and so thrilled. She is so thrilled and sweet.
Well, last week she cried.
I know.
Yeah.
And this week she just watches her beaming. Like she just, and I just watched that and it's like.
Well, she used to always say that Brooke was going to be like, or Mackenzie was going to be like Brooke because she could do all the acro and stuff. But so she wanted her to kind of be that way. But she doesn't like Brooke.
Right.
Brooke sucks. She's mediocre. Right. So I don't know.
I know.
I'm thinking she had a headband on.
Who, Abby? Oh yeah, she had a headband on. Oh my God, you called your first headband. You're no longer a headband virgin.
I was thirsty.
Holly tells us upstairs that she doesn't have time for costumes. And then you chime right in, I have to make 2.
I know. That's what all you people forget. Like, you guys are bitching about one. Everything we do, I have to do two of.
Well, supposedly Melissa had to make 2 this week as well, but we're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Then Jill says that she has tons, but Melissa chimes right in and tells her that she's not allowed to use those ones. And then she goes, oh, trust me, I have costumes she's never seen on stage on my daughter.
No,
She'll never know. And I was like, oh, she'll know.
Yeah, especially when you bring one that is that fancy, like she's going to know Jill didn't make it.
Yeah. And especially when there's producers like telling on you.
Her. Yeah.
Yeah, telling on you. And then I go on to say that she's sneaky and she's not playing by the rules, and that she bitched and was at the bottom of the pyramid. And then I brought up somebody said she wore boots. It was Melissa.
That was me.
No,
it was
Melissa said it. But then that opened up a can of worms for you.
I was like, I want to know why I didn't get. She got to wear her boots and I had to take mine off.
I was crying because I know how pissed off and aggravated you always were about the shoes. So the minute you saw like a crack that you could run in and scream about your shoes,
Well,
you
the
were in.
producers probably told her to go in with her boots on because they knew I would get pissed.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. Jill says that she's tired of rules and her actions dictating Kendall's experience. Well, hi, that's the whole premise of the show. So I don't know. I don't know what you signed up for. Oh my God, Kel. But then I bring up contracts. I totally forgot about this part of the contract.
Yeah. She would make us pay her.
No, I completely, as soon as I heard myself say it, I was like, I must have blocked that out with like PTSD.
Yeah.
So there was a part of her contract that said, if you were a title winner, because she had somebody burn her, I won't say who, I'll tell you later, like being a title winner, that if you renege on your title or back out or whatever, you have to pay her $100,000 in cash.
Yeah. Within 7 days.
Why does it have to be in cash?
So she don't have to show it.
Yeah, exactly. That she went to.
Yeah. But if you didn't, then she would blackball you in the
She'd blackball you in the dance world. I died when I heard that. I was like, oh my God.
And then I
forgot about it.
Then I say the contract says she basically owns you for 1 year, which is true. She does. But she actually owned us for 6 because our contract was for 6.
No, our contract went on for longer than that because that's actually a question on the after party today. And then Jill says that she knows kids that have left. And I'm like, yeah, and she's blackballed them. I mean, how many stories do we know of kids that have left that have had really horrific tales to tell?
Yeah.
And then she wants to know, if we knew all of this, why didn't we tell her before she signed her contract?
We didn't tell her to come.
We didn't tell her to come.
Why she came. Like, why did when you were happy at your old studio, why did you come?
Yeah, but I do believe that we told her, you want to really rethink what you're doing before you come here. I'm sure we told her that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we did tell her. So then we go to Ohio. Weirdly enough, we didn't see a cow. So I wasn't even sure we were in Ohio.
Yeah.
And she Kathy calls in her sweet little apples.
Oh, how about her?
For the PPP.
PP.
Yeah.
Perfect, positive pyramid.
And then she's going to have a little look-see who's on it.
Yeah.
And everyone is
equal.
They're all equal. And who's the question mark? And then she says, if the ALDC can bring in new people, why can't we? So she's going to have an open call with lots of people and lots of fun. And literally when you see those kids, you like hear like Morgan Freeman's voice come over. Yeah. The kids did not think it was fun. Because they're like standing there like, this sucks.
And it was dark out.
Yes.
Like they had the line out the door and it was like dark out.
But okay, so then we get back to our studio and Maddie is rehearsing her solo next. And it is Spanish influence jazz, or jazz with Spanish influence. I don't quite remember how they said it. And I thought it was funny that Maddie goes, it's instrumental with some Spanish singers in the back. And then she's dancing.
This is the first time I ever heard Abby. She said that it needed to be clean and precise. And whatever. Like she usually never says that stuff to Maddie. I think that's one of the only times ever.
Mm-hmm. But let me play devil's advocate. Do you think she started to do that more because she knew that she knew that people
We're
We're-
picking up on it.
Yeah, that she never did it. So she was doing it just to kind of like pretend more like she was fair. I'm not saying
Yeah.
she is. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But yeah, that is one of the only times. So then Kendall is next. And we hear in her interview that she's really excited for a solo and she is doing lyrical. Jill says to us upstairs that she knows that we don't give Pyramid a whole lot of clout. And in her interview, she looks like a bird. She's got like a boa on. It's like all these
One
feathers.
thing about Jill, when she wears something, she goes all out. Like I was looking at her outfit for the competition.
Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh my. There's a lot of things
The
happening.
print skirt, the
Yep.
big necklace, the
Yep.
hat, the cool
The
shoulder
boots,
shirt. I'm
the
like, holy shit,
boots.
like how much more can you have going on in there?
So Jill tells us in the interview that she really believes that Kendall deserves to be at the top. She was great and she was better than some of the kids above her. I don't know. If you like pay attention, I don't think that we say stuff like that very often, the moms.
No.
So I
No.
was a little bit like, oh, okay.
I think
And
we always try. I always try
oh, I did too.
positive things, you know.
I tried.
Sometimes when you're mad though, sometimes things
Yeah.
might come out, but she wasn't even mad.
Mm-mm.
Like it
No.
wasn't like I'm talking about like a screaming argument. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes in my screaming arguments, I said things,
Oh shit.
want to.
Yeah. I mean, hi, always.
but like just sitting upstairs now.
And then Melissa says that the kids were happy for Mackenzie when she was on top and they'll be happy for Kendall, but others need to be on top too. And Jill totally is like, no, the best should be on top. And then she goes, don't you think, Holly? And Holly wants to know why anytime Nia or Paige are mentioned as being elevated up the pyramid, her claws come out. And Holly literally goes, your claws come out, Jill.
Yeah, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
How about when she says that Holly wasn't even there?
Oh, I'm getting there.
I couldn't believe she said that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And
that
then
was
you-
low.
And then she's like, and then you show up. And then Holly's like, I have a job. And she's like, I know, we know you work hard. And then I chime in and I was like, do you ever shut up? And then she goes after me. She's like, we know you have another child. We hear it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I have a 2-year-old.
I'm just glad that you told her to shut up like I did.
Oh, I
Oh my
know.
God, she was so offended by me
Mhm.
telling her that, but she never stopped talking.
I told her to shut up twice.
I only did it once, but
Yeah, but she doesn't stop
we
talking.
needed to say it a lot more.
Well, because the problem is that you're supposed to allow people an opportunity, not just on TV, but like in real life to rebut what
Yeah.
you're saying. And you never got a word in with her. So you're like, shut up. So we go back to Candy Apples and the audition is happening and there is a long line for Team Apples.
How about
And-
the moms are doing they're like
The
judges
judging?
for yeah,
I know.
like what is that?
Mm-mm. Kathy wants us to know for sure that the apples aren't lacking. She just wants to be stronger. And then Peyton walks in, and we had just said this last week, like, why didn't Peyton go to
Yeah.
Candy Apples? So I guess that they wanted her to go and it didn't work out for whatever reason.
Peyton was probably scared to death to.
Cross Abby.
Yeah,
You think?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when Peyton does come in, Kathy recognizes her as an Abby dancer. And
She was
So-
jumping all over that man.
yeah, but I was shocked that in Leslie's interview, she literally says, and after all of the abuse Abby has put Peyton through, I was surprised that they let the word abuse be on TV. Leslie goes, she's going to show Abby that there are other places that Peyton can dance. And the fact that it's Candy Apples is just icing on the cake. And then we see her talking to Peyton and she goes, are you excited? And Peyton's like, she doesn't know how she
Peyton's
feels
like,
about
why
it.
am I doing this?
Yeah, but she does say she wants to make her mom happy.
Yeah.
Then Kathy tells us that Peyton has great face, a great body, and she's selling herself. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds a little scandalous.
Yeah. She's going to offer her a space and stab Abby in the back.
Oh, no. She's going to stab her in the backarooski.
Is that what she said?
Yes. Because I was like, how does one spell backarooski? As I was writing it down, I'm like, what the hell kind of word is that? And then Peyton says that she needs to think about it after Kathy offers her a spot. And she goes, are you a spy? And she's laughing and she's like, no, I just miss my friends and it's a long drive. But Kathy's mind is just blown. So she goes out to talk to Leslie. And then she says, well, Peyton should have wasted her time. And Leslie immediately goes from 0 to 100. It was a privilege for you to teach my daughter. If you were as positive as you say, and she's like screaming at her. And Kathy's like, you're too much like those Pittsburgh dance moms for me. And then Leslie goes, well, you can't handle me. Yeah.
How rude.
But you can't handle me. And then she like storms out. So
that was it for Peyton on the candy apples.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then Leslie says she's going to find a spot for Peyton, even if it means crawling back to Abby. I'm like, well, that was quick. You went to one and done.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to dance no matter what. Back in Pittsburgh, Nia is doing a jazz solo, but Abby is wearing a headband. Yay.
Yay. How about me, my interview?
I died.
I'm nervous for Holly and Melissa to make the costume.
That's fine. They don't make costumes.
Not the best at costuming.
No. And then Holly shows us Nia's costume. I think it was like Itsy Bitsy Spider. And we're like, no, she can't wear that. And then the chicken's coming. But Holly says that she's resentful of the whole costume thing. She doesn't sew, and this is not what she signed up for. Then Chloe is dancing. And what's funny is at the bottom under her name, like when they're talking about the type of dance, it says that she's doing a lyrical acro. Chloe's not doing a lyrical acro. She was doing like a ballet.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And then I say ballet is harder, that she might have it harder than the other girls because there's a right and a wrong. There's no gray. But then Paige comes on next. And hers is lyrical acro. So I think somebody just did Paige's as lyrical acro and never changed Chloe's. Like I think they did them.
Paige's was supposed to be jazz, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. So then somebody made a huge mistake there.
Yeah. Another reason why they should have had a dancing person do the editing.
Exactly.
And they would have known that wasn't lyrical.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Paige was nowhere near lyrical. Neither was Chloe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Paige in her interview says her dance is called Make Some Noise. Oh yeah. And she says it's jazzy acro and she really likes it.
Yeah.
So then we hear Holly say, I have a chicken. She holds up a chicken.
Me and you had a chicken costume too. We should have did a trio.
We have a whole farm full of chickens. But then one of the scariest things to ever happen on Dance Moms happens. Abby comes into our space.
Yes, she came upstairs. That did not happen very often.
No,
and when it wasn't a good thing.
No, it was terrifying. And I was like, oh, I feel so violated. It's so terrifying. Yes. And when I saw her come up, when I was watching it, I audibly gasped, like out loud. I went, oh my God, because I was so unnerved by it.
Ah.
So Abby's there because she wants to check on our costumes, and Holly holds up a costume and Abby literally just goes no and moves on. She didn't talk to Holly.
Well, I don't think a chicken costume went with Nia's dance.
No, a chicken costume, but she had other options, but she's just like, no. Then Jill is holding up like the Starburst thing, and she's really trying to sell it. She's like, it's bright. And Abby's like, sweet little lies. Black, dark, red, maybe white. And then as soon as she says maybe white, Jill's wheels go like, tick, tick,
yeah, I got one of them.
She's like, okay. And then Melissa is like, I'm going to make this into a sarong with 2 roses. And Abby goes, you're going to make it? And she goes, Kelly taught me how to do it.
I probably did it.
Yes, I'm certain that you did it. Yeah. Melissa did not make that costume. I would bet my house on it.
Oh, there's no way.
No way on
they
this
planet.
planet.
Made.
Mm-hmm. I'm next. And I tell her that I have a powder blue tutu being dyed at home. And Abby's like, oh, procrastination station. And I go, it was wet. Did you want me to bring it in and ruin your floors? I thought that was funny.
Yeah. She's such a pain in the ass.
But honestly, my tutu it was home in my kitchen sink. I used Rit dye and I dyed it. And I was up late that night dyeing.
I remember making those.
That you were doing the Paige's costume on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were like, how do we get scissors through security. So I think you were using like little cuticle cutter scissors because you can't take scissors through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was dyeing that thing late at night. And then I held up a bra and I said, I'm dyeing this too. And she goes, your child is wearing a bra. And then I say, it won't look like a bra when I'm done with it. Abby says that I have nothing done and I need to get my act together. I'm fine. Like, you need to settle down. I'm fine.
Yeah.
You show her like the sequin top because it's loud. And she goes, well, that's loud. And you said with little booty shorts. And she goes, well, with shorts that short, her feet better be pointed and her legs better be straight. And then you hold up Brooks and she's just like, yeah, that'll work. So see, although she did give me a lot of shit, but you know, please, our costumes were going to be fine.
Had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she was worried about the two of ours.
No, the girls do come up and they're trying on old costumes. And Nia has on that little purple thing from, I think it was called like, not Ooh Child, what was Forever Young. Forever Young. And you said, I think it's sad because I liked you when you were little.
I did like them when they were little. It is sad. They were so cute.
They were such cuties. They're still little here, but like we're talking about when they were babies.
Like 4 or 5. Yeah.
Then we see Abby at the desk and she answers the phone and a guy asks for Abby Lee Miller and she's so nervous. And I'm thinking, you would have thought if a guy was calling and asking for her, she'd be more excited. Yeah. Jinx.
She knew it wasn't. She knew it wasn't for that.
Yeah. But it's a guy from Dance Explosions. And he tells her that the competition is canceled. And she's like, oh my God. And again, I'm having a hard time paying attention because I'm just looking at all the garbage and the shit behind the front desk.
I was just going to say how all of us came up to the front desk.
I know. Here we are.
All of the moms and all of the kids. That shit never really happens.
No. And there's a lot of sequins at that desk. Abby's in full sequins, Jill's in sequins, Melissa's in sequins. I am sequin free, I'd like to point out. I just have on a t-shirt. Once. And Melissa says in her interview, the kids just want to dance. My kids just want to dance. Mackenzie's at the top. And Jill just wants to ask what our options are. I wrote, you have an idea, but what's your idea?
Well, me, I'm like, well, why don't we just go to another competition?
Oh, is that your idea? I wrote, you have an idea.
Like, hello. Like, wouldn't that be what you would do if it's canceled? You just like call another one and see if we can get in.
Yeah. And that's what Holly says. Abby needs to find another competition. And then she tells our girls not to slack no matter what. Our girls aren't slacking. Yeah. It's so frustrating. So they go in and they're rehearsing and she starts calling around. She's not getting any answers. And she says she's going to find something for those 7 solos. And then I notice that she is wearing her whistle again.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, she's wearing her whistle because she has her blue outfit on. Whistle. The competition let her down and she needs to save the day because she wouldn't let those kids down. And I'm thinking if those kids had a weekend off, that might be the greatest thing that ever happened to them.
Excited, yes.
Then it's just back-to-back puns, one after another. The show must go on. Yeehaw, we're going to Texas. You don't mess with Texas or don't mess with Texas. Look out, Cowboys. Here we come.
Yay.
And then they show plane and we are in Texas. And the first thing you see is the gym floor. And we talk about how that really threw off our game. But the first thing I saw was Jill's cowboy hat. It was the first thing.
She has the print skirt on.
I know.
Those boots.
I know. The thick necklace.
The necklace was huge.
And it was all stoned. And hoops. And then she had hoops on.
Yeah. I'm like, how much more shit can you have on your body today? Like that could have made like 10 different outfits.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you. So that morning I was standing in the lobby. So one thing that used to happen is that we would get mic'd in the lobby so that when we showed up, we were mic'd. And the producers would come over and just kind of like say hello to us, kind of tell us what the general
like the day was,
the idea, like not the idea like you have to do this, but like what the important stories were for the week that they were kind of following, you know, in case we missed it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was talking to James. We have to have James on for the episode that he got run over by the car in New York because it's really funny. But I'm talking to him and my back was to the entrance and he is standing there and he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, "You just got a gift." And I was like, "What?" And I turned around and Jill had that hat on. I was like, "Oh, thank you." But he literally goes, "You just got a gift."
That's funny.
Yeah. So Kendall says that she's nervous about dancing on the floor because she doesn't want to slip. And then we get into all the people who are worried about slipping. So we know somebody's going to slip.
But what I don't understand is why didn't everybody just take their shoes off?
Exactly.
Exactly. My kids don't wear shoes. Usually,
Yeah.
but you can't really turn without shoes. So, but mediocre kids, if they aren't wearing shoes, why do they have to wear shoes?
Right. But not even that. You readjust for your surroundings. Doesn't she tell us that that's like being a professional?
You always have to be prepared. Yep.
Prepared. So Abby then tells us this really astounding revelation that costumes need to sparkle more because there's no light. And she really hopes that the moms don't let her down and that no one has to dance or no one dances naked. And Brooke goes out first. So wait, what was that costume? Did you just make that? Was it like from a store-bought thing?
What that was? I think it was just a leotard with a little sash going across it and like an applique here and an applique there.
That's so you
Very
just
simple.
Made it
Very
easy.
Simple, yeah.
I just wondered if it was from something or, because we didn't really focus on that. Although later you do shove that in Jill's face, but she danced. I thought her dance was great. Do you want to talk about her dance? I actually like that they showed more of her dance.
Yes, I did too. Because usually they just show.
I think it
was more of the dance. Yeah.
Because it was on a gym floor, they didn't have all those weird angles. They didn't have those tight close-ups of the feet and stuff. So it's probably why we saw more of these dances. Mackenzie is next. And
okay, Melissa did not make that costume.
That's her old solo costume.
Yeah.
That was a solo costume that she competed in at Abby's studio. So that totally broke the rules. Why didn't anybody talk about that?
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be a costume that she had never seen, a costume that had never been on stage. Well, Mackenzie wore that costume the entire year before competing under Abby's name.
Yep.
So why did the rules not apply there?
I don't know, but she definitely didn't make that.
Yep. Kenzie was great too. That dance was adorable. Okay. So now we head back to the dressing room. And Abby asked to see her costume and Jill holds up a white costume. And I go, "Oh, it's beautiful. Did you make it?" I'm such a bitch.
Yeah, she definitely did not make that. It was beautiful costume.
Oh, yeah. And she keeps saying, "I didn't say I made it." And then she said, "Did you make?" And then we keep saying, "Did you make it?" And she's like, "No." And you said, "You just had that hanging in your closet." And she said, "Maybe it wasn't mine. Maybe someone lent it to me." And then Abby comes in and she goes, "You did not just whip that up." And she said, "I never said I wasn't going to whip it up. I'm not Becky Homecki." And they show me. And when you see Jill and Abby fighting, Melissa is behind them. And you have to go back and watch it. Her face is priceless. She's peeking. Melissa, she's peeking up from behind the makeup mirror and she is all smiles. I don't know if she thought it was funny. I don't know if she was glad
you were Becky Homecki.
But it was really funny. Again, that might have not been at that moment that they showed it, but no, because Jill was in the foreground. So it wasn't just a cutaway. No, it was during that time. So Abby said, "You were supposed to take pieces of costumes and put things together and come up with something new." And she says, "This is what I came up with. This is Kendall's costume." And Abby says, "Somewhere someone has seen her in it." I said, "Not an old costume." And she said, "I'm trying to teach them a lesson. You don't need a $500 costume to win." That's not the lesson she was teaching them. She was teaching them. She didn't have time to do it.
Exactly.
And then Jill says, "It's not about winning." That is the first time Jill has ever said that. And she says, "It's about what I want to put my daughter in." You chime in, you hold up yours and you go, "Brooke wore a $30 leotard and danced beautifully."
She did. She did. My kids never had freaking costumes.
I know, but it's so funny that leotard holds up. And then she wants everyone to back her up. And then we say, we want you to follow the rules.
We weren't allowed to wear a new costume. Why would we say it's okay for her?
Right. And Abby is fighting with her. And then she says, she starts packing up. And Holly goes, what are you doing? And she says, she's leaving. No one wants me here. And you go, no, we want you here, but we want you to play by the rules.
Yeah. See, I was nice.
Yeah.
I want them there, but you got to be the same as us.
But then she picks up a jazz shoe and she whips that jazz shoe. And then she throws that chair across the room. Like she shoves that chair out of the way.
She was really mad.
Oh, Kelly, at lunch, because lunch happened right after that. I remember sitting there and I was like, wait, she's really pissed. Because she was like stewing in lunch. She wouldn't speak to anyone. And I was like, oh shit, she's pissed.
Yeah.
So then you hear from me. This is probably my most iconic line from Dance Moms. I say, she's throwing shoes and she's cursing. And all I'm thinking is, you are so hard to take seriously wearing that hat.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, she was.
I thought the whole thing was a freaking joke.
Oh my goodness. No, she likes that hat.
She still wears that hat, Kelly.
I know. I see her on Instagram.
Uh-huh. So then Abby rehashes the assignment again. And then she tells us that Jill tried to go above and beyond it and it backfired. This is the part that I'm like, wait, what did I miss? Because Jill's crying out in the hall. So Melissa goes out to comfort her. And she says she's not going to put her in a piece of shit costume and let them and Abby win. How did we get it in the thems?
Yeah. But I put my kids in a piece of shit costume every week.
Yeah, but I just was like, wait, why are we the ones that are going to win? And then Melissa says, oh, they did this to me. And I'm like, what? You always had the best costumes ever, Melissa. Yeah. Melissa does say that she can't believe that Jill flipped. And that's when we see the girls walk in their winter pink sweatsuits. And Jill is continuing to say, she's not dancing. I'm not putting her in a piece of shit costume. I'm not belittling my daughter, and they're going to stop belittling me.
I felt bad for Kendall crying.
Oh, I felt terrible for Kendall crying.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Jill. What's funny about the costume thing is because clearly an outfit is very important to Jill, like based on
exactly what she has on. Yes.
And so that's why it's really funny to me that she's like losing her shit about this costume. Cause it's like, okay, Jill, we know you like a look. Like
maybe she should have just gave her that necklace. It would have given her a bling out there.
Yeah, for sure. But you do feel bad because Kendall's crying and Jill tells her, I'm pulling her out. And Kendall's like, why? And Jill said, you know why? And she said, we came all this way and these witches won't get off my back. She's not dancing. I just was so astounded that we were the witches.
I know. But whenever my kid doesn't have a costume and I throw a fit, she's like saying I'm a brat. She did the same thing.
Yeah. And then she tells Kendall, when you get older, you'll understand that you stand up for what's right. I agree with that.
I agree with that too. Yeah. I do that all the time.
Sure. But Kendall wants to dance and Jill does too. And Jill's choking up. And I get this. I like, that makes me feel bad. As funny as all of this is, like when it's really emotional, like, because at the end of the day, those people are our friends and it makes you feel bad to see them hurting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the dressing room,
we've all been there.
So
we know what it feels like. So
absolutely. So you always feel bad when somebody else is like at that breaking point.
Yeah.
So back in the dressing room, the girls are getting ready and Nia has a heating pad behind her. Abby spies that sucker immediately.
I know. As soon as she walks in,
she like zeroes in on it. And Holly like equates them to being athletes and they need to push through the pain, but they also have to take care of themselves, which those girls' bodies were beat up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We were like,
back used to kill her. Ugh,
we would say all the time. No, and everyone was always like, they're kids. I'm like, right, that aren't going to be able to walk when they're 20.
Exactly.
And that's what Abby says. She's like, oh, your back and hips hurt from ballet class. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if
she put her dig in there. because
Mhm.
Nia's using muscles she
Yep,
never used
yep.
before. Because she kind of said, you're finally working
Mhm.
hard in ballet,
Mhm.
and now you're using muscles you never used before. That was a dig.
I know. And I was like, oh, man, she kills me with that. Then Abby does tell us there's a difference between being sore and injured. But, like with Brooke, you
Yeah.
just have to grind your hip out.
Exactly. Grind down that bone.
Blech. Well, that just makes me whoop. And Holly tells us in an interview that she just knows something is going to happen because when Nia was rehearsing right before she went out on stage, she was really flustered. And so Nia goes out to get ready to go on stage and she's running. And then Holly is running down the hall. And Holly is running down the hall, like screaming directions and encouragement behind Nia. And I was like, Holly has transferred over to the dark side of dance mom. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden at the gym door, Nia stops and she's crying and she's having a panic attack. And her little blinking with those big eyelashes is so sad.
Yeah.
She's like trying to hold back her tears and her face is like,
Well, it's so hard whenever there's a camera right in your face when you're trying to cry and be upset and talk to your mom. When there's a camera right there, that's hard.
It's like having a spy. Like imagine having like your worst enemy, like listening to the most personal things you're saying.
Yeah.
So, and you can see her kind of looking back and forth a little bit. And Holly is trying to talk her through it and calm her down. And then Nia does say that she's afraid of the floor because it could be slippery. Then Holly comes into
Holly's crying.
Holly, Well, she comes into the audience and she's telling us what's going on with Nia. But Kelly, you are picking your teeth while she's saying it.
Probably.
It was after lunch. You had your like pinky nail.
That's me. I'm surprised I didn't have like dental floss out there.
I was cracking up.
I'm always picking at my teeth.
Well, and like just me shoving the food on my cracker because you forget that you're on camera and you're like being a normal human, and then they put it on national television.
Yeah, like why wouldn't they edit that out?
Because they're assholes.
Just not have the camera on me, have it on somebody else. I swear they look for that kind of shit.
Absolutely. Oh, and they do, because there's going to be something that comes up later that is for sure something that they put in on purpose.
Well, they do it with Brooke all the time.
They sure do.
A lot. Yeah.
Yes, they sure do. So then Nia starts to dance. And I just want to say, I love Nia in this color. I think this is a beautiful color on Nia. Yeah. And Holly's watching, but Holly is so intense. She's like leaned over with her shoulders going. Yeah. But look, again, I've been there.
Starting to cry. It's so sweet.
Yes. And then she's crying.
She doesn't do that.
And she tells us that she is speechless and she is crying. And it really is a sweet moment. And I'm glad that, and she said that she's like so proud of Nia and she's speechless because she pulled it off. And then there's more crying going on because we see Kendall and Jill in the bathroom. And it's funny because somebody opened the door and the camera was right in there, At least the bathroom used to feel like somewhat of a safe space. Although I have to say they followed me into the bathroom quite a few times.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, never mind.
Absolutely.
Bathrooms aren't safe. And Kendall says she wants to dance and Jill says no because of the costume. What do you want to say?
Mine danced with a costume that was ripped off her body 3 minutes beforehand. Mm-hmm. So, like shit happens.
Shit does happen. And again, pick your battles. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't say anything about that because that's what I argue over for 4 freaking seasons. So, but you always had nice costumes. So you never were put in that position.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I had other shitty things later that were my thing, but the costumes, right. I get it.
So I can't say anything about Jill saying anything because I'm just as bad.
Yeah, I guess though, where I'm coming from with her saying it though, is that she had been bitching that she wanted Kendall to have a special part, like a solo or, and she had it. And it was like, okay, well then just let her dance or I don't know, do the assignment.
Yeah. Make the costume like you were supposed to, like everybody else.
And then you don't have to worry that she isn't going to dance.
Exactly.
But in the audience, Melissa tells Abby that Kendall isn't dancing. And Abby's like, are you really telling me this?
She's appalled.
I love that she's
I
appalled.
am appalled that Kendall isn't dancing.
Mm-hmm. And Kendall is crying. And Abby's like, well, she wore a crop top and booty shorts the whole time she rehearsed. Just put her in that. Jill's like, okay, I'm going to put her in.
It didn't take much to talk her into it.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then Jill says, I made a rash decision to put her in the underwear on stage. And then they're running down the hall. And she's like, Kendall, honey, baby, do a front aerial right here, honey. Please, you need to say stretch. And Kendall just like throws in a side aerial, but Jill's running. She's like, do a front aerial, okay? Just do a front aerial, honey. And I'm like, we're psychotic. Like, we're literally psychotic. So Kendall dances and she tells us that she's really glad she danced and she doesn't care what the costume looks like.
Yeah.
And Abby says that Kendall did great in booty shorts and Jill is just a drama queen and she can't take it anymore. That was quick.
Yeah.
That was quick. Up next is Chloe. And I just want to say it does not look like a bra. And
it was beautiful.
Thank you. And I say it looks professionally made, but it was really a hot glue gun. I glued that.
Yeah.
I did not even sew it. I glued all the tulle on the bra and then I E6000 the rhinestones and I found that headband in Abby's shithole shop. She had that headband. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I made the tutu. So Chloe dances and it was good. It was fine. It was a good dance. Maddie is up next. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sense of my notes. I said, why do they show Chloe looking so bored? See, like Maddie goes on to dance and they show a clip of Chloe and she's like, ugh, like in the audience looking bored as Maddie's dancing. I'm like, that's a shitty thing to put in there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a shitty thing of picking my teeth, too.
Yeah, it's all shitty.
Yeah.
So then during Maddie's dance, the big drama is clearly that when she has a front aerial on her dance and she goes for it. And I think she kind of hesitated a little bit, which threw out.
Oh, she did. She didn't slip. She was going to take the aerial out and do a diving front walkover.
Yes.
And then she kind of switched her mind in between. That's what she saw. Yeah.
Yeah. But oh my God. Did you notice that the show completely transitioned into dramatic slow motion move? Everything's slow. Everyone's slow.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like, meanwhile, Paige literally broke her foot in the dressing room and it was just like,
and they were like, keep dancing. Remember, they would not let her go get her.
Yeah.
Paige is like, I think it's broken. She danced that entire day
on a broken foot
until the competition was over.
Mm-hmm.
Were you allowed to take her to the doctor? And it was broken.
Yeah. And this is the most dramatic slow motion ever. Melissa jumps up and runs because she thought Maddie broke a bone. I never thought Maddie broke a bone because you can tell when somebody falls, like if it might be a wrist or an ankle, like it was clearly like her butt, like it was like her bottom. And she says her hip hurt, which I believe her hip, but I didn't know about a broken bone. But backstage, Melissa's holding Maddie and Maddie is crying that it was the worst performance I've ever done. And she can't
That's why Maddie was upset.
Yes, absolutely. She tells us that her leg hurt really bad and what if she could never dance again? But then really we hear, she's like, is Abby mad? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what she was worried about. So Abby comes in to the, the nurse's station where Melissa has taken Maddie, where they're icing her hip. And Melissa immediately tells Abby that Maddie is worried that she's mad. And Abby's like, I'm not mad, sweetie. And she wanted to check on her and she's like, she felt so bad. This is Melissa. And then Abby said, well, if you had a big butt, it wouldn't hurt. And Melissa's like me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm in the twilight zone because no other person would have this conversation lighthearted and whatever, like poor you. And then Abby,
like, well, you fell. Why didn't you stand up and continue your dance?
Yeah. Well, you even
forgot it. If you forget it, you just keep going. The same as if you fall, you keep going.
Yeah. Well, you say later, you said if anyone else had fell, she would not act this way. And she said, if it was my kid, I haven't had a kid fall in 50 years.
Yeah. It would have been.
Yeah.
Why didn't you stand up and dance? Like, why'd you run off the stage?
Mm-hmm. And then Abby's carrying her in and Melissa thinks it's sweet. And I'm just like, this is hard to watch. It's hard to watch Abby's treatment of it, where everybody else should have like kicked him back on the court. Go dance.
Yeah.
Ruining my name. So then it's Paige's turn. And so you took Paige's witch's top. So they were in this dance called like what? Wicked Little Girls.
Yeah. But they were like 4.
Yeah. But those tops, remember how big those costumes were?
Big, yeah.
So that's why she was able to wear it. And then what, you put booty shorts on with it, right?
Did orange booty shorts, and I cut the shirt, I cut the straps off. They tied in the back, remember?
Oh yeah.
I put one of the straps like as a sash along the bottom of the shorts.
Because I did see that the shorts had like sequins, and I was like, but that makes sense.
I cut the shirt.
Got it. So her costume was great. So you win that. And then she starts with a press, and it was fabulous. And then you tell us, so Paige dances and she's fun. She's energetic. She's great. And then you say she rocked that dance, and Abby is smiling, and Abby looks at you and she goes, the best she ever danced.
I know. Is that amazing? I'm
surprised that the ceiling of that gymnasium did not open up with lightning striking all of us dead. Yeah. Truly.
I thought Paige did good on that dance.
Oh, yeah, Paige was great. I do think that was the best dance that I've seen her do on the show so far. I saw her dance well other times, you know what I mean? But on the show, for sure.
On the show, yeah.
Yeah. You congratulate her. And then Abby comes into the dressing room and she tells Paige she thought she was great. And it's like such a holy shit moment. Like I said.
Know. Everybody was like,
wait, what? It was like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Now we're in awards. And was Brooke in the same category as Chloe and Paige?
I don't think so.
I thought that was weird.
I don't think so. I think, I don't know. I don't even know how that came about.
Well, so they show the awards and they show Brooke getting 3rd, and then they show Chloe getting 2nd, and then Paige obviously wins, and you're so excited. And you knew she won. I think you said the minute you saw Chloe get 2nd, you knew she won. You stand up and you're like screaming, and Melissa's hugging you, and everyone is so excited. And they really were. Everyone was like so happy for Paige.
I know.
And then Paige is really cute in her interview because she goes, I'm happy I won because I don't normally get a solo because Abby doesn't think I do well. And I'm so proud that I proved her wrong.
It was so cute.
It is so cute. And then you say, maybe Pyramid will change. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah. Doubt it. Oh my God.
Open.
Here's to open.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Cal, this is the part I was talking about with they do shitty thing or funny things. So when we're all back in the dressing room, Brooke is standing next to you. I kid you not, go back and watch it. She hands Maddie a pair of underwear, like right in front of the camera. It's like, and like they're crotch out underwear. It's not like I have them folded. Like they are hanging where you can like see the crotch of the underwear.
Oh my gosh.
She just like hands.
I missed that.
Hysterical. So our girls are close friends. That's all I'm going to say. Like they share a lot of stuff. And Maddie grabs the underwear and like hides them, like balls them up. But Brooke's like, here you go. And so we're all excited for Paige. And I say, you might be at the top of the pyramid.
Yay.
And then Abby comes in and gives her a big hug.
Yeah, that was cute. And she gave Brooke one.
I know. And she said, I yell at them like they're my own kids. And she's glad that Paige had a shining moment.
That was sweet.
That is sweet.
That don't last too long.
Nope. But Abby's really happy though, because now everyone in Texas knows her name because of their talent and our costuming. So they all know the Abby Lee Miller name. She's saying all of these nice words, even nice words about us. She said, we all got a perfect score in our costume. And I'm like, yay, mommies. And we're all celebrating. And it was a successful trip. Except
Melissa says we're all going to be at the top of the pyramid. All the moms.
Oh, yeah. I'll be at the top of the mom pyramid.
All at the top.
But Abby has one more piece of business. She's not allowing Jill to think that her behavior is okay. You either play by our rules or you find another studio. And she tells Jill, no more outbursts. You have a decision to make. And it's a serious one. You need to take it seriously. And Jill's just like, fine, Kendall and I will discuss it. And that's it. I like this episode. It was easy for me.
I know, me too.
It was a good one. Page 1.
I know.
Yeah, this was like a no drinker. I didn't even have a drink.
I know.
It was a no cocktail scale for me. How about
Sounds
you?
good to me too.
Yeah, it was a good one. Loved it. All right. So bottom of the pyramid for outfits. Cal, we got to go with Jill.
With the hat?
Yeah.
That one or the first one?
No. Well, they're both
a couple bad ones.
I think maybe the hat, because it had so many elements. We'll go with that.
I'm with you.
Top of the pyramid for outfits. I don't even remember anybody having a good outfit or bad.
I don't either. For mine, I would say I wore a shirt with the brown leather jacket, which.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was cute.
It was this shirt, which is very ugly, but the jacket I didn't mind, but I wouldn't say it would be a top of the pyramid outfit.
I don't even know what I had on.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, it was very low key. All right. Favorite lines of the episode.
I put Paige. I'm really happy that I won because normally Miss Abby doesn't give me a chance to do a solo because she doesn't think I will win. But this time I proved her wrong.
That's a great one.
Just because that was my sweet Paige.
Yes. Well,
and I also put down that Abby looked at me and said, that's the best she ever danced.
Yeah.
We will never hear those words again.
No, we will not. My favorite has to be my line because this is the line I get quoted on.
That's why I didn't pick it because I knew you were going to say it.
Yep. Jill's throwing shoes and she's cursing. And all I can think is, and all I'm thinking,
in that hat.
And all I'm thinking is, I can't take you seriously wearing that hat. So that's the line.
Well, I had the felony as Jill's hat.
Oh, that's such a felony.
Yes.
And actually, I think you and I got get out of jail free cards this week because we had the best costumes.
Yeah.
That we actually made.
Yes.
Melissa didn't make Mackenzie's.
I don't know that she made Maddie's either.
I don't think she did. I'm sure Sandy made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that was an easy episode. Love it. Yeah. Yay.
Yes, me too.
All right. Well, I do have something interesting to read in the after party about Abby's voice. I think there was a question. What did I say? Somebody had a question about that we would talk about in the after party. There was another one. Something about.
Yeah, we said it at the beginning. I can't remember.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll think of it. All right. We will see you guys back here next week. Don't forget to watch episode 7. And if you're not a member of Patreon, please go over to patreon.com/backtothebar to subscribe so that you can hang out with us even more.
Yay.
Right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Back to the Bar.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen to your podcasts.
And check out our YouTube channel, Back to the Bar, if you want to watch the episodes. The channel is linked in our show notes.
And if you want to join our weekly after party,
where we dish even more dirt,
like naked pizza, Kel, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/backtothebar. See you next time.
See you next time.
Baby, I just wanna dance, dance.